Section 1.4, the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem will only apply for a right triangle, which is a triangle with a right angle. So in a right triangle, I have the two sides that create the right angle. I call this side a leg 1 and this side a leg 2. And the side that is across from the right angle is called the hypotenuse. The Pythagorean theorem says that if I take leg 1 squared plus leg 2 squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So that is my Pythagorean theorem. Sometimes you might see people replace leg 1 with A and leg 2 with B, hypotenuse with C. So they have A squared plus B squared and C squared. We can also do that. Say if I replace my leg 1 with A, leg 2 with B, and hypotenuse with C, I'll have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. For leg 1 and leg 2, it doesn't matter which one is A, which one is B. I can interchange it as long as your C is the hypotenuse. Example, for which of these triangles is 3 squared plus 3 squared equals r squared? Select all that apply. They gave me 4 different triangles and they want me to select any triangle that satisfies this equation right here. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So this looks like a Pythagorean theorem. And Pythagorean theorem will only work with a right triangle. So if I can find a right triangle with one leg is 3, the other leg is also 3, and the hypotenuse is r, then this will apply to that right triangle. Look at the triangle in option A. This is not a right triangle. That means the Pythagorean theorem cannot be used in this triangle. So I'll eliminate this. The triangle in option C, this is not a right triangle either. So Pythagorean theorem cannot be used in here. I will eliminate this triangle as well. Similar to D, this is not a right triangle because I can't find any right angle here. Pythagorean theorem cannot be used here. So I will eliminate D as well. So I end up with B. This is a right angle. That means the triangle is a right triangle. That means Pythagorean can be used for this triangle. The two legs are the two sides that create the right angle. So one of them is A and the other one is B. The hypotenuse is always C. So if I use the Pythagorean theorem here, I'll take A squared plus B squared equals C squared, which is 3 squared plus 3 squared equals r squared, which is this. So my answer is B. Example, given the triangle below, answer the following questions. A, find the length of C. I'm given a right triangle. My leg 1 is A, which is 5. Leg 2 is B, which is 12. Hypotenuse is C. They want me to find the measurement of the C. So this is a right triangle, and I'm given the two sides. I need to look for the other side. I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem. My Pythagorean theorem is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I'll replace A with 5 and replace B with 12 and look for C. I'll have 5 squared plus 12 squared equals C squared. 5 squared is 5 times 5. Okay, so be careful here. 5 squared is not 5 times 2. It's not 10. 5 squared is 5 times 5 is 25. 12 squared is 12 times 12 is 144. 25 plus 144 is 169. 169 equals C squared. Now I don't want C squared, I want just C. So to cancel out this square, I'll take square root and always do it on both sides. This square root and the square canceled out. I have C equals square root of 169. And you can use a calculator to find the square root. I am going to use a Google calculator to show you how to find square root. However, every calculator is different. So please learn how to use your calculator. Square root of 169 equals 13. C is 13. The question didn't give me any unit, so this C is equal to 13 with no unit. But if it gives you unit, for example, if it gives you inches, then C will be 13 inches. B, find the perimeter of the triangle. Perimeter is just the distance around the triangle. So I'll take 5 plus 12 plus 13 to get to my perimeter, which is 30. Again, the question doesn't give me unit, so it's just 30. But if it gives me unit like meters, then it should be 30 meters. C, find the area of a triangle. The formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 times base times height. So go up here. The base and the height are making a 90-degree angle. So this is my height and this is my base. So my base is 12 and my height is 5. I'll substitute 12 in for B and 5 in for H. 1/2 times 12 is 6 because half of 12 is 6. And 6 times 5 is 30. The question doesn't give me any unit, so the area would be just 30. But if the question gives me the unit, the area would be 30 units squared. Example, given the triangle below, answer the following questions. I'm given a right triangle. My leg is 55. The other leg is unknown. My hypotenuse is 62. So the hypotenuse is always C. Let's call this C. And this leg call A because they already call it B. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Question A, find the length of side B in the triangle. So I want to find B right here. Using the Pythagorean theorem, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I'm replacing A with 55 and C with 62. So I have 55 squared plus B squared equals 62 squared. I need to find B. So let's first simplify all of these numbers first. 55 squared, again, is not 55 times 2. 55 squared is 55 times 55, which is 3025. Plus B squared equals 62 squared is 62 times 62, which is 3,844. Now, I want to isolate b squared. So I'm going to subtract 3,025 from both sides. B squared equals 819. I want to find b. I don't want to find b squared. So to cancel the squared out, I'll take the square root on both sides. So b is the square root of 819. Down here, they want me to write the answer in exact form and also in the approximate form. Exact form means I want the answer to be exact. I don't want to approximate that. And then they also want to approximate. So when they ask you to approximate, they'll tell you to round. In this question, they want me to round to the nearest thousandths. Okay, so I have to give my answer in two different forms. My answer is square root of 819, but I want to write it in two different forms. One is exact form, the other one is approximate form. So let's start off with the exact form. B equals square root of 819. So if I use my calculator, I'll take square root of 819. This is not a whole number. That means doesn't matter how many digits I carry, this will never be exact. Okay, so 819 is not a perfect square. The square root of 819 will not give me any whole number. So I need to break it up. I'll start to take 819 to divide by a perfect square. So for example, 819 divided by 4. No, it's not working. The next perfect square is 9, so I take 819 divided by 9. It's 91. So that means if I take 9 times 91, that is 819. So I'm going to break the 819 up to 9 times 91. So 9 times 91 is 819. The reason why I want to break it up like this because I know that I can take the square root of 9. So I'm going to rewrite it to square root of 9 times square root of 91. And the square root of 9 is 3. B is 3 times square root of 91. And the unit is feet. This is my answer in the exact form. Next, I want to write the answer in the approximate form. Remember, my answer is the same, square root of 819. In order to write the approximate form, I just need to put this in a calculator. I'll take square root of 819. This is my approximate form. So this is the approximate number that the calculator gave me. And the question is asking me to round to the nearest thousand, which is 3 decimal places. That means I need 3 digits after the decimal point. This is a 1, so I need to round down to 28.618. And the unit is feet. B, find the perimeter of a triangle. To find the perimeter, I'll just find the sum of all the sides of the triangle. So I'll take 55 plus 62 plus 28.618, which is 145.618 feet. C, find the area of a triangle. So the formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 times base times height. So if I go back to my triangle here, the way that they place the triangle that has no base. So I'm gonna rotate it so that becomes the base. I'll just rotate the triangle so that this is on the ground. So this is 28.618. This is 55, and this is 62. To find the area, I'll just take 1/2 times base times height. I replace B with 28.618 and H with 55. And I can just put these all in the calculator. So start with 1/2. I put 1/2 in a parentheses times 28.618 times 55. Enter. That's my answer. And the unit for the area is feet square. Example. A sailboat has a large sail in the shape of a right triangle. The longest edge of the sail measures 17 yards, and the bottom edge of the sail is 8 yards. How tall is the sail? So I have a right triangle. So this is the shape of my sail here. The longest edge is 17 yards. In a right triangle, the longest side is the hypotenuse. So this side is 17 yards. And the bottom of the edge is 8 yards. So this is the bottom, 8. How tall is the sail? So they ask for this. So I call it B. I want to find B. Using the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Right? My two legs, one is A, one is B. My hypotenuse is always C. I'm going to replace A with 8 and B stays the same. Replace C with 17. 8 squared is 64 plus B squared equals 17 squared is 289. I am going to isolate B squared, so I subtract 64 from both sides. B squared equals 225. I want B. I don't want B squared. So I need to get rid of the square. I will have to take the square root on both sides. The square root will cancel out the square. I have B equals square root of 225. And taking the square root of 225, that is 15. And that is 15 yards. So the sail is 15 yards tall.